Hello friends, welcome to Data Pandit. Today we are going to solve the same scenario with a different approach. So if you might have checked my earlier video, so there was a scenario wherein we had a input string, right, comma delimited string, wherein numeric and non-numeric character were there, and the output expected was like in first column there will be a numeric only value and followed by non-numeric, as many number of non-numeric value are there, like character are there, those many records needs to be created. So we understood that we need to create multiple records from out of one record, therefore we used normalize and then scan and everything else, right? So that was the component based solution wherein we had multiple components, right? But today we are going to solve using minimum possible components, and we are going to use multiple different functions, inbuilt functions and methods or types, maybe map or vectors and all, right? So that this scenario also you know covers the how vectors processing happens and the map processing happens, okay, in a way. So it's a kind of mix of thing, and also it's a complex scenario in number of ways, right? So let's say how we do it, right? So uh, high level the approach would be like we would be reading the input as in string, new line delimited string, and then there will be a normalize function, and then there is an output file or key value pair would be. So we know the output and we know the input as well, right? So let's try to solve it. So what we do in normalize is, so we create a multiple record out of one record in normalize. So therefore we are going to use the normalize as a multi-state transform function, okay? Within that we are going to declare a vector type, key value type, okay? And we are going to see why we have required the vector in a minute. And then there are a couple of a global variable, and also I want vector declaration also as a global variable vector type, which I have type, defined the type here, okay? And this also I need an in on global variable, okay? And in normalize we will have a length function and the normalize function, right? So in the length I need to decide how many more you know records I need to create out of one record, right? So therefore I need to have a length. So within the length function I need to populate my map, and then I need to assign my map to vector, because map is for processing perspective, but map cannot travel from on the flow, right? So on the output port of any component we cannot have a map as a type. So there is an deserialized map which is length prefixed vector. So that's when I have assigned as a, I have declared only the length prefixed vector, okay? So this is a length prefixed vector, integer is a length prefix, and there are two items in the vector. So if any map which needs to be converted into vector, why we convert into vector is because we need to flow that value, those values on the Abinitio flow in the sense of the part, the connecting part between two components, that is called flow. So map cannot travel to the flow, therefore we have created vector. So why we have declared a map? Because map will be, we can change the map. uh, Map is a kind of dictionary type, right? In another like maybe if you compare it with Python, so at the same place we can modify the values of the key and value, okay? Using the key I can modify the value of the map. So in that place itself we cannot, we don't have to iterate it like vector. So it has a vector kind of functionality. Also, it has multiple things like using the key, we can reference the value, right? So we don't have to iterate it to any particular length or any index. So that's when I have used a map, because I need a, that kind of processing, like for a particular key value pair I need to decide, right? So I need to have a key, a value, a key, a value, right? So if that kind of processing comes into our scenario, then we need to think of map. Key value scenario, if there is there, right? Then we need to decide, or we need to think of the map. So I have declared the map in the length function. You can see that my this map is compatible with the this vector type, the key value pair, right? So the key is like string one, okay, one length string, and integer is the value. So if you don't know the declaration of map, I have already discussed about map in earlier video. You can maybe watch through that, or it's a simple. So we have to like we need to specify the key and the value, and that's how we declare the, and the same place I have initialized is with the null values, okay. Then within the length function, I have created one integer variable, and I need to traverse entire string which is in the input. So let element in string split into str. So this loop is you know which is similar to in my previous video, right, when we talked about component based solution, right? So in those lines, this loop is also there. But in this, I need to traverse every, I mean, all the elements, and depending upon the type of the element, I need to decide what is key and what is, what is the key and what is the value. So valid, I need to check the validity of the, if any element can be converted into the integer, that means we are, hitting the one or two or three. If that kind of condition satisfies, okay, then valid will have non-null value, right? So if it is a valid is null, then I need to string split and comma delimiter string index element, otherwise z. So I am going to decide the key. What could be the key? So in this, I could have the key is like A, B, and C. Currently, I'm using A, B, C as a key. Okay, one is going to be my value. Okay, right. So GRP is going to be my value. So key is my key. So key part is my A, B, C would be key of the map. Okay. So if key is valid, then it will be like A, B, or C. If if this is the element, when we read this, so element would be either 1 a b c 2 d, like if element is 1 2 or 3, then what will happen is like this is going to be written as valid, okay, and my element would be like g, right? So this key would be written at g, okay. In the else part, it will go to the else part. And what would be the group in that case? Because it's an group is going to be a group means 0, right? So map, my map G and 0, or maybe 99. I'm deciding here 99. So for all those numeric values, right? For these values, okay, 1, 2, and 3, my map will have G as key and value is 99, okay. But whenever we encounter A, so what is going to happen is A valid is going to be null. If it is null, then I'm going to take the index of element, and my key would be A, my map A. So my map A is going to be a GRP. What is GRP? GRP, because it's a non-null, then it will be have a, if is null, right? Valid is null, because this time valid is null, so GRP is GRP, the same value. 1, right? GRP becomes 1. So this, so although so we are saving the GRP value because it's a global variable, okay, and right, GRP. I'm assigning GRP again and again. I mean then again as well, right? If it's is null valid, then GRP equal to GRP. I mean 1. So my map A is going to be 1. Similarly, next time is also until and unless is valid is going to be you know not null, my GRP will not change. For therefore for A, B and C, okay, my GRP would be 1. So what I have done is like a bit tricky, because for first record I have saved my this value as a group. Okay, I have decided I will take the group, and same key I am going to use for next all those elements which are non-numeric. Okay, so this group I am assigning as a value for all those keys until and unless next thing comes. Next thing is 2. Whenever the element is 2, then valid is going to be non-null, and then my key is going to be changed, and and the group is going to be changed. So group is going to be like decimal element. So now it becomes group as 2. So if this is true, then my group is changing, right? If it is null, then my group is retaining that earlier value, but my key is going to be changed always until and unless new numeric value comes. So that's how I'm assigning. So my map would look like after iteration of this for loop is like my map. Whenever it is a numeric value, my map. So Z, there will be a key as Z, value will be 99. For the next element, my map key A and group 1, B 1, C 1, and then 2 comes, right? 2 is another, then my group changes. So it is going to assign this value to the group, and this time key is going to be G, because this is not going to be satisfied. Therefore, G will be the key. So my map G again becomes 99. Okay. So there will be all those element, also one more element, which is saying that my map Z is equal to 99, because I'm using that G as a G key as a all those times whenever I encounter this while reading the string. Okay, now so finally, after coming out of this for loop, I my map Z, if you do this, what you do is free the element of the my map, meaning that dictionary value will be gone. So my map will be get rid of Z as a key. Let's this one basically, right? So now I have iteration completed for the record. Now my map is ready, and it is ready to convert into the vector. So what I did is I typecasted here, okay, and I have done the vector sort dedupe first, ascending order, so that I could have values like A, B, C, D, E, F, right? So that's when I have done, okay. And what output would be like length of my vec. So my vec length will be 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9. So it will return as a 9, okay. And then there will be a call to normalize function. So there will be in an index, and the key and value I will pass. I will use the my vector. My vector is a global variable. So my vec is global variable. Therefore, it is I can reference here also. So I will pass the index and the key, and index as the value. Okay. So my output would be like this. So this is very simple, because I have used one component and there is a transfer. So it's a tricky transformation over here. Okay, within the length function. So I utilized normalized component length function of normalizer extensively because I have populated my global variable vector myvec, and I have an intermediate map defined so that I can change the key and value within that place itself. And for all those numeric things, I have assigned key as G and value as 99 so that I can free that element after reading everything, right? And then I assign my map to the vector, and I length calculated the length, how many records I need to create out of one record, and then I referenced each and every key and value pair for that vector because my vec is a global variable, so I can reference over here. I can populate in the length function. I can reference that vector in the normalize function, right? So this is the also exercise actually similar. This is an exact transformation I have practiced actually, so it is giving the proper results. So yeah, thank you so much.